Welcome to the Resilient Transitions webinar brought to you by Behavioral Health Family Advocacy Program. My name is Devin Drake and I am a Prevention and Educational Specialist. Should you have any questions regarding the material covered in this webinar, please contact me at 645-2915. This webinar will introduce you to the less obvious topics of transition, such as stress, family considerations, the value of a mentor, and other issues of concern. You will be able to identify common symptoms of stress and recognize the very real impact they have on a successful transition if not acknowledged and managed effectively. Some events that you may have experienced in the military service may have a lasting impact on your life and need to be addressed as part of your long-term transition plan so that they don't sabotage your transition efforts. When we think of transition, we focus a lot on resumes, job searches, interviews, moving, and all of the other logistics. However, there are other aspects of transition which are often overlooked. This is where I really like to plug in the importance of being proactive versus reactive. The one common denominator between your military life and your civilian life is you. How well you are functioning will influence how you think, how you act, and the success of your transition. So it just makes sense to do a little preventative maintenance. Transition is change, period. Anytime you introduce change into your lifestyle, you induce stress. So obviously there will be plenty of stress to go around. A common response in both the military and civilian culture is to ignore stress. Stress is like an elephant in the middle of the living room. We put a tablecloth over it, add some pretty flowers in a vase, and call it a coffee table. When faced with all the challenges of transition, you may be tempted to just try and suck it up one more time. If I ignore the stress, won't it just go away? How many of you have ever done or said something when you were stressed out that you regretted later? Just because we ignore the stress doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us, any more than putting a tablecloth on an elephant makes it a coffee table. It is difficult to manage something that we don't understand. Here are a few definitions of stress to work with. Both definitions refer to a response to demands or challenges. Let's take a minute to consider what the stress response looks like. The symptoms of stress occur within seconds, and how long they last in their intensity depends on how serious or stressful you perceive the situation to be. So what are you supposed to do about it? Well, here are some suggestions. Make sure to keep it simple. Apply the same principles as you would if you were preparing your car for a long trip. Would you put water in the gas tank and expect it to run? No. Then don't put junk in your body, skip meals, drink heavy, live on energy drinks, etc. Rather, eat good food and drink plenty of water. Don't forget to get rest. That's when your body repairs the damage done by the stress response. If you get no sleep, then there is no repair. Exercise is not an option. It releases endorphins, clears your head, and releases muscle tension. Remember to maintain a schedule. Treat your job search like a job. Put in the hours and the work. Don't, however, let it become your entire life. Obsessing over it will actually decrease your productivity. Build time for work, for play, for family time, and spiritual needs. Break things down into small chunks. You can't do it all at once. Break it down into manageable chunks. Delegate if possible, and acknowledge your accomplishments. Don't forget to let your friends be friends. Don't try to do this alone. How many of you can call someone and after talking for 10 minutes, they just make you feel better about yourself and your life in general? Call them and let them help. What are some of the things that maybe you have practiced over the years that give you a little break and help you relax? Some of your answers may include drinking coffee on the porch, playing with the kids, petting the dog, taking a motorcycle ride, working on an art project, listening to music, reading, writing, or talking to friends. Most of us already have a long list of things we find relaxing. The trick is just to make them a priority and build them into our daily routine. Stress is a unique experience, so your stress management plan can be tailored to your needs. Acknowledge and accept your feelings. Expect to feel grief and loss as part of the process. The military was a big part of your life for a long time. Even if you are excited about getting out, you can expect to miss some aspects of the service, such as variety of assignments, camaraderie, sense of purpose, travel, steady income, and benefits. So how do you keep your head in the game? Well, it's as simple as ABC, also known as the theory of emotional arousal. How we react to a situation may increase our stress or reduce it. What we often overlook is that we can make that choice. We have control over our reaction. So let's define A plus B equals C. A is an activating event, or the stressor or the situation. In this case, it's transition. It's neutral, neither good nor bad. B is our belief or self-talk about the stressor, and C is the resulting consequence of the events, plus our thoughts or belief about it. In this case, the frequency, intensity, and length of time we spend stressing over our transition. As with any mathematical equation, you cannot go from A to C. C is not the result of A alone. You cannot get to C without going through B. Often we experience B so automatically that we aren't even aware of it, but it does occur and has a significant impact on our response. If you want to change a response or consequence, change the beliefs or self-talk, and you can generate a different outcome. I want to share with you 5 concepts that you can apply to mitigate stress as much as possible for you and those you care about. The concepts are predictability, control, relationships, trust, and meaning. These are referred to officially as the principles of resilience. Predictability. Stress is lower when we can predict the outcome, higher when we don't know what to expect. How do we develop predictability about new situations? Education, mentorship, experience, consistency, and communication. Get the necessary information so we can make the unknown known. Controllability. When we feel we have no control, stress is high. When we identify areas we do control, even if it is only in how we respond, confidence increases. Give control when you can. Clarify what you do and don't control, and develop pre-planned responses. Relationships. When faced with stressful events, knowing someone has our back can make all the difference. Any opportunity to improve your relationships through the transition process needs to be taken advantage of. Thus, the recommendation to maintain balance, communicate openly, and support each other through the emotional ups and downs of the transition is crucial to the success of the process. A positive relationship with mentors, career counselors, and other professionals can also keep your stress down and confidence high. Trust. Knowing that we can trust the people or organizations we are working with to have our best interest at heart can be a real stress reliever and confidence booster. This can be fostered by being predictable and consistent in relationships. Meaning. When we believe what we are doing is meaningful and has purpose, it makes it easier to work through the challenges. Stay in touch with the big picture. Share your vision and validate roles and accomplishments of family, friends, mentors, and yourself. Remind yourself why you are doing this in the first place. We need to consider how transition affects more than ourselves. If you have a family, don't forget to include them in the process. They may have expectations about what getting out of the service means. There may be differences in what you expect and what they expect. It is important to communicate to find out what challenges they are experiencing and what their hopes, dreams, and fears for the future are. Don't forget about your children. Even young children can pick up on your stress levels. As a veteran, you may have experienced some things while in uniform that may make transition more challenging. The reality is that these experiences are real, they do occur, and they do impact those who were affected. The other reality is that with help and support, we can move past them effectively, and there is plenty of help out there. So what can the Family Support Center do to help? They provide a variety of life skills training programs, including stress management, anger management, communication workshops, conflict management, and relationship building programs. Counseling services are available for individuals, couples, families, and children. Counselors also facilitate support groups addressing a variety of issues. Financial education programs provide education and financial counseling for all levels, from basic money and credit management to home buying and retirement saving and investing. The sexual assault prevention and response professionals and family advocacy program professionals provide education, advocacy, and referral services for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. Career development and resource center professionals provide training on resume writing, federal employment, job search strategies, interview techniques, and all aspects of finding employment for military personnel and their spouse. Parenting classes cover a wide range of topics to assist parents in understanding the challenges associated with parenting in a military environment, the effects of military life on children, and strategies to help parents manage them effectively. Information and referral specialists can assist with identifying alternative resources for just about any situation identified by the client. Here are some others who can help you succeed as you transition from the military service. You have Military OneSource, chaplains, Base Legal, the VA, Medical Treatment Facilities, Military Family Network, National Resource Directory, and Substance Abuse Counseling Services. In the next few slides, we will spend some time discussing the value of mentorship during your transition. Mentorship refers to a personal developmental relationship in which a more experienced or knowledgeable person helps guide a less experienced or knowledgeable person. It is more about just answering occasional questions. It is about an ongoing relationship of learning, dialogue, and challenge. The dictionary definition is a wise and trusted counselor or teacher, or an influential senior sponsor or supporter. A mentor is that one person to help you and nurture your career. Mentors are willing to share ideas, skills, knowledge, and expertise. A mentor demonstrates a positive attitude, acts as a role model, and takes a personal interest in the mentoring relationship. A mentor can also help you establish goals and plan your priorities. When you're transitioning from the military, a mentor can help you search for employment, identify colleges or universities, or help you start a business. A mentor can be valuable not only in your job search and professional growth, but also in helping you transition to civilian life and workplace cultures. Just as a sponsor helps you become acquainted to a new post or base, a mentor can help you adapt to your new life and career. You are not limited to just one mentor. You might need different mentors during different phases of your transition. Here are some characteristics to look for in a good mentor. They include willing to share their knowledge, flexibility, demonstrate competency in the subject matter and the task. They encourage and support personal growth. They're direct in dealing with situations and people, honest when providing positive and constructive feedback, and understand the parameters and requirements of the relationship. Successful mentorship relationships develop from honest communication. Building such relationships requires trust, which can be created by establishing rapport, getting to know him or her, identifying his or her past experiences, and helping them understand the importance of each of your roles and transitioning goals. Here are some additional resources for you to utilize during your transition. There's a lot of value in finding a mentor as you separate from the military. Do your research and find the guidance and information that is best suited to fit you and your needs. Remember that stress is a normal part of the transition process. Manage it or it will manage you. Your family is transitioning and needs to be kept in the loop. Traumatic events, emotional injuries, and physical injuries are part of the military experience. Don't ignore them. There are abundant resources available to support both you and your loved ones through the entire process. Use those resources early and often. Remember, you are not alone.